I can still picture the night I met Harper, like it was yesterday. It was a humid summer evening at my buddy Luke's housewarming party in East Austin, his new loft buzzing with twangy guitars and the smell of smoked brisket tacos. I was 27, a software engineer at a tech startup downtown. Not exactly the party type, but Luke insisted I show up. "You gotta meet people, man," he'd said, practically dragging me through the door. Harper, 24, was a friend of Luke's girlfriend. Walked in with a smile that could outshine the neon signs on 6th Street. She bumped into me while holding a Shiner beer, splashing some on my brand new white Vans sneakers. I was about to say something, but she just laughed, her voice bright and bold. "Now you're stuck talking to me." That's who Harper was, or at least who I thought she was. She worked in marketing for a trendy startup in SoCo, always raving about her latest campaign or a shoot at Zilker Park. Her energy was electric, like Austin's live music scene, turning even a trip to the Barton Springs food truck lot into an adventure. I was more of a chill guy, gaming, watching sci-fi flicks, grabbing breakfast tacos at Torchy's. But with Harper, everything felt bigger, brighter. We started dating a few weeks later. Everything clicked. We loved the same music, think the Black Pumas and Leon Bridges, laughed at the same stupid memes, and dreamed of a little house in Hyde Park with a porch swing. Harper was all about getting a corgi. I wanted a golden retriever. We'd bicker about it over drinks at Cosmic Coffee, her teasing me with, "Corgi or bust, babe." Before dissolving into giggles and kissing me, I thought I'd found my person. But 3 months in, Harper started talking about her ex, Owen. He was a classic Austin bad boy, long hair, tattoos covering his arms, rode a loud Triumph motorcycle through Rainy Street. He worked as a bartender at a hip dive bar downtown. According to Harper, their relationship was a train wreck. She'd tell me how Owen would ghost her for days, ditch her for bar crawls with his buddies, or make her feel like she wasn't enough. One night, sprawled on my couch in my West Campus apartment watching a rom-com on Netflix, she broke down crying. I pulled her close, asking what was wrong. Her voice cracked. "Hey Nance, I turns forgot my birthday once." He was at some music festival in Marfa and didn't even text. "You're the first guy who makes me feel like I matter." I bought it, hook, line, and sinker. I wanted to be the good guy, the one to help her heal. But I missed the red flags, how she still followed Owen's Instagram, claiming it was to see him fail. How she'd drop his name randomly, like when we were kayaking on Lady Bird Lake, and she'd say, "Owen used to love this spot, but he'd never bring me." Things felt solid though. We made plans, a house with a big kitchen for Harper's cooking experiments, 2 kids, I pushed for 3, and that dog we couldn't agree on. 6 months ago I started browsing rings, noticing Harper loved oval diamonds from her Pinterest board. I even met her parents in Round Rock who smiled and said, "You're good for her, son." We opened a joint account at a local bank to save for a Europe trip. Harper was obsessed with Paris, had a whole itinerary, strolling the Champs-Élysées, sipping wine by the Seine, hitting patisseries in Le Marais. I thought I knew her, her oat milk latte order, the way she'd snort when she laughed too hard at my impressions of Darth Vader. But cracks started showing. Harper got distant, glued to her phone, brushing it off as a work drama. She talked a lot about her best friend Tessa, who she'd known since high school in Pflugerville. Tessa was always over, the two of them whispering in my kitchen while I played Call of Duty or debugged code. I thought it was sweet Harper had a ride-or-die friend. Tessa would tell me, "Harper's so happy with you. You're solid." I believed her. I believed everything. Then came a typical Austin Tuesday, the air heavy with impending rain. Harper made breakfast, her famous migas with extra avocado, at my place. She was quieter, her eyes far off. As I washed dishes, she hugged me from behind, her cheek against my back. "I'm so grateful for you," she said softly, almost sad. "I love you for everything." I grinned, turned around and kissed her forehead. "Say it again. I'm not complaining." She smiled, hugged me tight, and left with, "See you tonight." That was the last I saw her. That night, Harper didn't reply. I figured she was a late meeting, her marketing job was high pressure. But by morning, nothing. My good morning text sat unread. I called, voicemail. Now I was uneasy. By afternoon, I called her office in SoCo. Her assistant, who I'd met at a happy hour on South Lamar, sounded weirdly formal. "Harper's on indefinite leave starting today." My heart sank. Since when? I asked. That's all I know, she repeated. I drove to her apartment in Clarksville, using the key from 6 months ago. Everything looked normal, clothes in the closet, her favorite Yeti mug in the sink. But her passport was gone, along with her emergency cash stash. Panic hit. I called her parents in Round Rock. Her mom's voice was infuriatingly calm. "Oh, Harper probably needs to figure things out. She's like that," I snapped. "Figure out what?" She vanished. Her mom sighed. "Give her space, she'll come back." Space? From what? Me? Our life? I called hospitals like St. David's, checked her gym in Mueller, even the taco stand we loved on East 6th. Nothing. After 3 days, I filed a police report at the Austin PD. But they said without foul play, their hands were tied. I called Tessa, who answered with a curt, "What?" Her tone wasn't worried, it was bitter. "Have you seen Harper?" I asked. "Nope," she said flatly, then added, "Maybe she needs space." Let it go. She hung up after a cold laugh. Something was off. Sleep stopped coming. I obsessed over our texts, photos, conversations. We just booked tickets to see Gary Clark Jr. at a CL Live. Harper was planning my birthday at a rooftop bar on Rainey Street. Nothing added up. Then I checked our joint account. My stomach dropped. Massive withdrawals, not from Austin but the Maldives. Luxury resort charges, couples spa days, candlelit beach dinners. Nearly $20,000 gone, mostly my money. I'd put in $7,000. Harper contributed $500. She'd planned this. I called the resort, posing as a friend confirming Harper's reservation. The receptionist chirped, "Ms. Bennett and Mr. Owen Carter are loving their stay." "Any message?" "Owen." Her ex. My world collapsed. The late-night calls, the work excuses, the joint account she pushed for, it all clicked. I texted Tessa, saying I knew about the Maldives. An hour later she sent photos. Harper and Owen on beaches, at restaurants, glowing like newlyweds. Tessa met me at a coffee shop in East Austin. She looked wrecked, eyes hollow. Then she spilled everything. Harper wasn't Owen's victim. Their breakup was mutual. She'd tried controlling him, hating his bartender life, wanting him classier. Worse, Harper targeted me before Luke's party. The beer spill? Staged. She picked me because I was Owen's opposite, stable, clean-cut, reliable. 6 months into our relationship, Harper convinced Tessa to date Owen to spy on him. Tessa, loyal since high school, agreed, feeding Harper updates, photos, even staging fights to make Owen jealous. When Tessa and Owen caught feelings, Harper went obsessive, demanding constant photos to ensure Owen still wanted her. 3 months ago, Owen dumped Tessa, admitting he used her to make Harper jealous. He never stopped loving Harper. Harper was ecstatic. They planned the Maldives escape, with Owen suggesting the joint account. Harper laughed in texts about me funding their trip. Tessa was hurt, but the final straw was Harper ghosting her after leaving. Tessa was a pawn, just like me. I wasn't letting Harper and Owen live it up on my dime. I sat with my laptop listing every shared account, savings, Netflix, Spotify, phone plan, even a gym membership at Austin Bouldering Project. I called my cousin, a lawyer in Cedar Park, to document everything. Bank statements showed Harper withdrew $20,000. I proved I contributed $7,000. At the bank on Congress Avenue, I canceled her automatic transfers and withdrew my money, leaving her $500, barely enough for their lavish trip. I split our phone plan, cutting her international features. I logged her out of our shared Google Drive, where she stored photos with Owen, saving copies as evidence. I canceled her gym pass, her toll tag, her Spotify premium. Every move was deliberate. This wasn't just money. Harper gaslighted me, dismissing my concerns as paranoia, making me doubt myself. Her narcissism shone through her manipulation of me, Tessa, and Owen to feed her ego. She built a trauma bond, mixing affection, like that last hug, with deceit, making me crave her approval. But I was done. A week later, Harper texted from an international number, panicking about declined cards. "What's happening? Why can't I access our accounts?" I didn't reply. Tessa said Harper called her, sobbing because the resort held their passports over unpaid bills. A friend of Owen's bailed them out. Harper returned after 67 days, showing up at my apartment with a designer suitcase and a sundress that screamed influencer. She cried, claiming Owen was still a selfish jerk. "You're the one I want," she said, reaching for me. "And you're stable, real. Owen's a kid." I laughed. "Stable? You mean easy to scam?" I showed her the bank statements, photos, texts. Her face paled. She stammered excuses, then begged. "I'll pay you back. We can start over." I shook my head. "How was the Maldives after I took my money back?" She screamed. "You had no right. That was ours." I smirked. "You're lucky I didn't sue for fraud." Harper left, but days later she posted on Instagram, accusing me of financial and emotional abuse. She used old photos of her crying, staged from her own sob stories, to paint me as a monster. Friends texted, worried. Someone sent the post to my boss at the startup. I felt like I was losing my mind, victimized by the person who betrayed me. But Tessa flipped the script. She posted their texts, proving Harper's scheme, plus bank records and time-stamped photos of Harper and Owen cheating. The truth exploded. Friends deleted their support for Harper. Her own cousin apologized to me. Harper deleted her post, but the damage was done. She lost her job for taking emergency leave for a vacation. Owen chimed in, revealing Harper lied to him too, playing us against each other. Now Harper lives in a tiny apartment in Pflugerville, relying on her parents. She lost friends, her reputation, and get this, Owen's dating her younger sister. She showed up at my place again, begging for money to cover Maldives' credit card debt. I laughed, closed the door as my new girlfriend Claire stifled giggles inside. Claire's everything Harper isn't: honest, independent, kind. We've been together 6 months, building something real. Looking back, I'm grateful Harper showed her true colors. I could have married her, only to learn the truth later. Now I'm with someone who makes me happy. Harper still sends sob stories from burner accounts about fate. Claire and I bet on how long until she asks for cash. I block and move on. Life's too good to look back.